It's alive! It's alive!
All right. Hello. Welcome. I hope you are alive and well. I am doing all right. I'm doing pretty good, actually. I'm in a decent mood, and we're gonna play more of this visual novel. I think it's gonna start to get good. I have a feeling. Not that so last chapter, I said I have a feeling it's gonna get good like 16 times before it actually. Well, I mean it's always good, but you know what I mean. Doesn't matter. Hello, I love FNAF, Ray, and Mr. Speedrusher. Hello, all of you. We got a full lineup, full cast in chat there. That's awesome. You started your own Twitch. Awesome. Is it Mr. Speedrusher as well over on Twitch, or is it a different name? That's cool. Do it. Do it. Stick to it. Have fun with it. Is my advice. Very generic advice, but yeah. That's awesome. Good. Sorry I'll be late, but I came to say it. No worries. No worries. Got to go, but I'll come back. All right. Which one of you already said it? I always come back. Was it Speedrusher, I think? Yeah, I saw that in there. I always come back. Right there. There it is. Saw it. More people that are always coming back. It's awesome. No, it's Fun FNAF Review. Oh, yes. Okay, yeah, you followed me on Twitch. That's right. I remember that now. Now that you mention it, it's all coming back to me. I totally forgot about that. But yes, I do remember. I do know that. Great. Awesome. Fun FNAF View. Fun FNAF View is over on Twitch, so go follow. Go follow Fun FNAF View, if you would be so kind. Awesome. So, I don't really have much to discuss or talk about before, getting into it, honestly. Yeah, we started to kind of get into... We finally have confirmation that Shion and Mion are different people, and that they seem to hate each other, is the thing. They seem to be at odds, and really just kind of... They don't seem to get along. And it seems like it's going to go in a direction where they're going to fight over Keiichi, aka me, aka the main character. So that's where it's looking like it's going. I'll just go here, why not? Yeah, crazy, man. Sorry, but I don't know the story, so it's fine. It's fine. You don't need to. If you're not interested in it, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Who cares? It's long and confusing anyway. I don't even know the story that well. All we know, all you need to know is that there's twin sisters that we were not sure if they were actually twins or if it was if it was just one person pretending to be both sisters, and then we had confirmation last time that they are twin sisters because we saw them in the same room together talking to each other, and they don't seem to get along. And I guarantee one of them is a murderer. One of them is definitely a murderer, for sure. It's not even it's not even subtle. One of them is a murderer. I don't know which one yet, but we'll figure it out. I still don't know why this game reminds me of Doki Doki Literature Club. Anime girls in school, visual novel, slow burn horror property. That's why. Those are four things that they have in common, and close enough, right? Yeah. I come just for the fun. Damn right you do. Nice. I don't care why you come. I'm just glad you're here. Thank you. But okay. I mean, yeah, like I said, I mean, if you want to stick around and follow the story, that's cool. If not, that's also cool. And I'll see you whenever I play some other games. Either way, appreciate it. Appreciate your attendance. Also, I don't know why you guys need to know, but I got a GF. Nice. That's awesome. You're killing it, aren't you? These days, you got this Twitch channel that's gonna blow up, I assume, and a new GF. God dang, you're on a roll. That's awesome. Good for you, man. I'm glad to hear it's that's really good. Dope. I don't know. I don't have much else to say. I hope this
to say, I hope.
Okay, that seems like it's working. Sounds good. I'm gonna get into it. I don't know. The last one ran pretty long, which I wasn't expecting, so I don't know. This one's also gonna run pretty long for a chapter, so I'm gonna get into it. Boop, and let's do it. I guess. I don't know. There's not much else to say or go over or whatever. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Oh, we ended on a happy note, I guess. Just can hear. Okay, sweet. Anyway, continue. The next day. It was a strange day where Mion was desperate to regain her composure. Every time our eyes met, she would say that she had something to do or that she had to use the washroom and run off. Unable to just watch, Reina was taking care of her the entire time. Man, this really kind of brought the mood down a little bit. Sorry.
Mion-san, she's acting totally strange today.
I know the whole story, but it's hard to explain.
There are times when girls are emotionally unstable. It's best to just leave her alone.
Turning around, I saw Reina calling me from the hallway. I wonder what it was.
Keiichi-kun, over here.
What is it, calling me over like this? Is it a secret?
That is... It looks like it was a disaster.
Yeah.
Michan seemed pretty broken, but somehow I got her working again.
I'm surprised you managed it. How did you exactly?
Same way I do with the television. Just come at it from a 45-degree angle and hiya.
Saying that, she made a chopping motion. You know I can't tell if you're joking or not, right?
She'll be fine by tomorrow. Also, there's something I want you to do, Keiichi-kun.
I didn't mean to do anything wrong, but I still feel guilty. I'm listening.
Thanks. You see, Michan is just going to pretend the last few days never happened.
Never happened, huh? I see. Well, that's one way to run from it.
So, you see, Keiichi-kun, could you pretend too? Then Michan can go back to normal.
Just doing something as simple as that? Is it really gonna be okay?
Please, until Michan gets her feelings in order, just go with it.
Okay, I got it. Even though I shouldn't have been at fault, for some reason I feel guilty. The one at fault here was the one who knew about the entire situation and pretended to be Mion for an entire day. Shion. But she never once said that she was Mion. What am I supposed to be angry at? Seeing me stomping the ground impatiently, Reina giggled.
But Keiichi-kun, you knew as well that Michan has some cute things about her.
Reina talked in a calm voice as her hair rustled in the wind. Yeah, I know that she'll never let it be boring.
Good.
Following this curt reply, Reina looked up at the sky and stretched.
As long as you realize that, Keiichi-kun, these past few days will soon be nothing more than a story to laugh about.
Copying Reina, I also began to stretch as I looked at the sky. The clear sky towered into the distance.
There's no club activities or anything today. I'm sorry, Keiichi-kun, but just for today, can you go home by yourself? It'll all be back to normal tomorrow, so just for today, okay?
If all it took for everything to go back to normal was to leave Mion alone for today, then that was an easy decision to make. Got it. I can't say it directly to Mion, so I'll say it to you. I still feel kind of guilty about it, so I want to apologize.
No. The root of the problem was Keiichi-kun saying something insensitive, right? So if you learned anything from this, you need to look a bit into gaining a sense of delicacy.
Right. I'll try. That day was the shortest day of my life. Reina was talking to Mion while accompanying her around the entire time. It looked like a really fun conversation, so I reflexively thought about joining in, but I had made a promise not to. It seemed that Mion was also trying her best to ignore me. So, likewise, I did my best to ignore her. For the first time in a while, I ate lunch alone. Mion and Reina ate theirs by themselves. As I let out a sigh in my ashen mood, Rika-chan came over and patted me on the head.
Both Keiichi and me learned a whole lot.
I'd never say it like that. It made it sound like we were having romantic problems. I didn't like that one bit. Hopefully the teacher wouldn't notice and call us to the staff room after school or something.
I'm sure that Keiichi will grow up to be a wonderful adult.
Rika-chan is the studious type, so maybe you'll grow up to be an amazingly wonderful adult?
Of course. When I grow up, I'll be super amazing. Why, when I grow up, I'll be an amazing lady, you know?
No matter how old you get, you'll still be a brat. You can put money on it.
What did you say?
Satoko snapped her fingers. What? Oh, okay. As Satoko snapped her fingers, a washbin fell from above, hitting me squarely in the head. Ow! What do you think you're doing, Satoko? Bang smash. Pinch squeeze. It was a day I could thoroughly appreciate the value of having friends. You could? You appreciate being physically tortured? Okay. I see you. I see you, Keiichi Maebara. Today was Saturday, so school ended in the blink of an eye. It really felt good to go home with the sun so high in the sky. On any other day, our club would have been up to mischief during our ample after-school time. But today, Rika-chan and I... Jesus, I'm gonna retake this whole thing, because that was terrible. On any other day, our club would have been up to... On any other day, our club would have been up to mischief during our ample after-school time, but today Rika-chan had a rehearsal for tomorrow's Watsunagashi to go to. How's that going, Rika-chan? Do you have it down in practice?
I'll try harder than last year. You were so excited and sweaty after last year's ceremony. She'll look far more fit for this role, for the role this year. Please, look forward to the fruits of her training.
The Watsunagashi festival everyone had been talking about was tomorrow, wasn't it? The festival being in June felt a little early to me, but the onset of summer came quickly this year, so it fit the image of a summer festival pretty well.
Okay, well, we'll be off then. Look forward to tomorrow. Good day to you all.
Satoko and Rika-chan waved to us energetically, then left. You know, I never asked, where is the festival happening anyway? I don't remember there being anywhere around here that seems suited for hosting one.
They do it at the Furude Shrine. We went there for a walk one day, remember? It was that place with the really good view.
Oh, right, I remember. There was a shrine all the way up on that hill, wasn't there? It seemed far too grand for Hinamizawa.
There's a great meeting hall in the shrine, too. The older people get together there and sing karaoke or practice calligraphy from time to time. It's more like a recreational facility than a simple shrine.
I see. I guess it makes sense that it looks so grand then.
Michan, is your family going to help set up today?
Yep, we have male hands for that. Most of our relatives come from town to help.
Male hands, huh? Well, I mean, I have nothing to do at home today, so... would it be a problem if I squirmed my way in there to help out too?
Huh? You wanna help us, Kei-chan?
I mean, not if it'll bother you all. I was just kind of interested. We had bond dances? I don't know what that is. We had bond dances and other festivals in the town I used to live in, but I didn't even know where they took place, much less wanted to help. You could say that I had absolutely no connection to the region. Having come to Hinamizawa, though, it really made me feel like this place was a home that I had returned to. Before I knew it, I harbored a little interest in the small community activity of preparing for a festival the day before.
I wonder if you'll be able to, Keiichi-kun. There's a lot of building tents and setting up chairs. I hear it's pretty hard physical labor.
I mean, I wouldn't be doing it alone, right? The more hands we have, the faster it'll go. Mion looked happy to hear that, but at the same time, her expression was complex, tinged with hesitation. Reina gave her the last push for me.
It's decided then. You should go for it, Keiichi-kun. He's all yours, Mi-chan. Put him through the ringer.
Well, I can't argue with a recommendation from Reina. Okay then, go home first, put on some more clothes, and come to the shrine. Oh, and you might want to bring a towel to wipe your sweat, too.
Got it. I may look scrawny, but I actually quite like breaking a sweat under the hot sun.
Careful you don't hurt your back, okay? Right, so no... Right, enough of my old man spiel. Oh, okay, I know how to say that. Right, enough of my old man spiel. I'll get to the shrine too as soon as I've changed.
Mi-chan, do your best too. Bye-bye.
Mion waved vigorously to us and left. As far as I could tell from her gallant retreating figure, she seemed to have recovered from the weak state she had been... Yeah, I'm gonna do this one. Mion waved vigorously to us and left. As far as I could tell from her gallant retreating figure, she seemed to have recovered from the weak state she had yesterday.
Girls are quick to get over things. Mi-chan is already fine.
Right. Her switching back to normal so cleanly really makes it easy for me to talk to her.
It was kind of funny though, wasn't it? Kind of like Cinderella? Like you can't meet her anymore once the magic wears off.
And hello, witch. Welcome. Hope you're doing okay. Good to see ya. Reina began to giggle a fair bit in amusement. Did she like this sort of thing? Incidentally, me going along with it gave me a weird, hard-to-describe feeling. Did I turn myself into a plaything, or did they do it for me? If you think it's so funny, then you should try pretending to be a different Reina, too. You should try pretending to be a different Reina, too.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. Keiichi-kun, what kind of Reina would you want me to meet? Would you want to meet?
Okay. Be missing out today, just saying hi. No worries. Thanks for coming by and saying hi, at least. I appreciate it. Whenever you leave, just go ahead and take off. That's totally fine. Yeah. Ray, say hello and goodbye to Witch, because they gotta go, soon. But yeah. Thanks for coming by, and, hope you have a good weekend. Bye-bye. I don't know when you're leaving, but, you know, I have to get that in before I get back into it. And welcome back, Ray. I don't know if I said that. Anyway. One with a bust the size of at least 90. Huge knockers that you're okay with me touching. Okay. Ray, I'm so sorry you had to come back to this. This is not appropriate.
I can't do that.
Well, she'd be great at cooking and make me lunch and come to see me in the mornings.
I already do that.
I pull Reina's head into a tight grip, then start to pet it. You're Reina Ryugu, right? Reina, not Reina. Reina. So you just stay as Reina forever, got it?
Thanks. Have fun helping set up the festival.
You got it. Let's meet up tomorrow. I got changed right away, and slinging a towel around my neck like Mion suggested, I set off for the shrine. At the shrine, there were more people than you'd imagine even live in Hinamizawa there. All cording off areas and setting up tent frameworks. I'm gonna do this whole thing again, god damn it. At the shrine, there were more people than you'd imagine even live in Hinamizawa there. All cording off areas and setting up tent frameworks, chatting amongst themselves as they did so. Alright, where is Mion? The liveliness of the throng didn't make it easy to look for her. I searched around as if I already worked there, and suddenly the principal called out to me.
If it isn't Keiichi, my Barakin.
I added the KT, whatever.
Interesting. Have you come to help with the Watanagashi setup?
Hello? Yeah, I was just wondering if there was anything I could help with.
How commendable your attitude is. Feel free to sweat to your heart's content.
Spurred on by the principal, I came upon a group of people setting up tents.
What's this? It's my Ibarra-chan. Did you come all the way to help us?
I hadn't found Mion yet, but I supposed I'd just get in her way if I ran into her. Yeah, I'm here to help. Just tell me where you need me.
You young ones have all the vitality. Here, grab some work gloves. Ever built a tent before?
No, never. Delighting in teaching a new skill to someone younger, plenty of people happily taught me all sorts of things.
Okay, kid. Go inside the tent and tie up just the cords for the top. After that, we'll stand it up and tie the rest of them.
Butterfly knots are okay, right? There and there.
All done? We're standing it up. 1, 2, 3.
What was once nothing more than a collapsed tent was raised on 4 splendid legs before my eyes in mere moments. Whoa. Seeing it put together like this is actually pretty moving.
Come on, no time to stare and wonder. We've got a lot more to do. We packed the tents into the truck, so get them from there. They're heavy, so take someone with you.
Nah, I'm good. I may look scrawny, but I'm actually pretty strong. Whoa! They look light enough, so I thought they were, but they're heavy.
That's why I told you to have someone help. Come on,
said the man, lifting it up with a grunt and taking it away under his arm. Either I'm weak, or these old guys have superhuman strength.
Let's go. You're the youngest one here, so we're gonna make you sweat for it. Do your best. Beer after work is the best.
I'm a minor? Sweat dripped from my body. I'd been fully and completely absorbed in helping them. I would never have thought the cold barley tea from the Women's Society could taste this delicious. Senior, yay, old man, okay.
You're so young. Make sure you drink a lot.
Thank you. It was then that I realized a crowd had formed near the shrine a ways off. When I took a closer look, I saw a girl dressed in shrine maiden garb and a handful of old men looking like they were preparing for the ceremony together. Is that Rika-chan? Hey, Rika-chan! Do your best! I shouted, and it seemed like she heard me. Rika-chan, positively exploding with vitality, answered with a smile. The older guys with me watched Rika-chan as well, with distant gazes.
Rika-chama is doing a great job.
These are all just old people, whatever.
She seems far more used to this than she did last year.
The old lady who gave me the tea clasped what looked like a prayer beads. Okay, the old lady who gave me the tea clasped what looks like... Blah, blah, blah. This is a tongue twister for me. The old lady who gave me the tea clasped. I can't say clasped. Clasped. Goddamn. Ahem. The old lady who gave me the tea clasped together... The old lady who... I don't fucking get this. The old lady who gave me the tea clasped what looked like prayer beads in her... Oh my god. The old lady who gave me the tea clasped what looked like prayer beads in her hands and said, "Rika-sama, we thank you. We thank you." And just like that, began to respectfully pray to her. Huh? I just remembered that they called it the Furude Shrine. Wasn't Rika-chan's full name Rika Furude? The man standing next to me answered my question.
That's right. Rika-chama's Furude clan is ancient and honorable, and has worshipped Oyashiro-sama for generations.
Huh. I'd always gotten the feeling she wasn't quite your average person, but it turned out she was from an esteemed family.
After her father, who was the shrine priest, died the year before last, she's really doing her best to learn the rituals. I wish the priest could have been here to see how wonderfully she's grown up.
What? Rika-chan's father passed away?
Okay, break time's over. Let's get the chairs we're not using back to the gym in Okinomiya. Mika-san, pull the truck around here and take a few people with you.
This is a different person.
That's right, my Bara-king. Let's go to work on one last job.
It's like those creeps from before. Yeah, you're gonna make me do more work? I can't tell if they know I'm a minor or not, but the older men all cheer me on, encouraging me to do my best and that the beer will be great.
Kei-chan, working hard, I see.
I passed by Mion. She was carrying a big cardboard box. It looked like she was right in the middle of working as well. Judging by the sweat seeping into her shirt, it seemed like I was the only one with hands full. Yeah, I'm working my ass off. You work hard too. The beer's gonna be great. We were worked to the bone until the sun began to set and it started cooling off. It was soon full-fledged night, and the clear sound of the Higurashi eased the moderate pain I felt. The older guys began their night before drinking party in a tent a fair bit off, causing quite a ruckus. The shrine grounds, on the other hand, had turned into a lonely road tickled by the cool evening breeze, despite being so festive just a little while ago. The wind felt good. I leaned on one of the stone guardian dogs at the front of the shrine. I gave my legs a good stretch as I let my mind wander, and suddenly, a paper cup filled with barley tea was thrust before me.
Kei-chan, great work. Here's some tea for you.
You're so considerate. Thanks, me. Her voice sounded exactly the same, but it felt somehow different. Wait, you're...
Hey, it's Shion. Don't go giving Mion all the credit. She isn't considerate at all. Don't get us confused, okay?
Shion, you little... Now that I've caught you, you're not getting away.
It was your mistake, Kei-chan. I've never said I was anyone other than Shion.
I guess I can't argue with that.
That's right. You're no match for my older sister, so I can't let you be a match for me either. Anyway, your tea. It's going to get warm. Come on, please cheer up. I'm trying to make it up to you with this tea.
Well, she did come all the way here to give it to me. I guess I'll accept it. I took the cup and downed it in one gulp. And then, suddenly... I heard a... I think is more like scared. I heard a loud shout and it got stuck in my throat. Which one was it this time? Is it the real Mion?
Shion, why are you hanging out with Kei-chan again? Because, unlike you, I'm very considerate. Kei-chan was so sweaty, I couldn't leave him alone, so I brought him some tea. By the way, why are you holding 2 cups of tea?
Mion's face went bright red as she tried to hide the paper cups behind her back.
This is... There's no way you, such a rough, timid, good sister of mine, would ever briskly bring a male classmate tea, is there? So, what are they? What are those 2 cups of tea? These are... well, right. I was just so thirsty, I figured I'd drink too. That's not so like you. Come on, chug, chug.
As Shion cheered at her, Mion downed both the cups of tea, one after the other.
What a fabulous drink that was. I expected nothing less from you. Kei-chan, you give her a hand too.
Wait, suddenly this situation has gotten unbelievable. Mion doesn't usually get manipulated so easily like that. I've known for a while now, but Shion is terrifying. Mion, you can't hold your own against Shion.
I hate her. And lately I hate her even more.
Just then, I heard a snap of a camera shutter. Tomitake-san. Yes. Okay. I'm glad he's alive in this. Well, I mean, everybody's alive in this, but yay! I don't remember the voice that I gave him though. Shit. Let's see. Good evening. Good. So I have to like do it. What do you look like? Good evening. The festival is... No, I don't like this at all. He's like deeper. He's gotta be like deeper, right? He looks like he would have... He's like a manly man. Good evening. Good evening. The festival is coming up tomorrow. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Honestly, I've been doing like... There's so many males, whatever. Oh, it's creepy women and soon to be dead. Oh god, it's crazy. Everybody's soon to be dead, technically. Time is relative. I don't know, fuck. Good evening. The festival is coming up tomorrow. Thanks for all your hard work setting it up today. Good evening. Oh, Shion-chan, it's quite unusual for you to come here. Because he died last time. Oh yeah, you're so right. Poor Tomitake.
Oh, hey, it's Tomitake and Takano-san. Good evening. It's been a while, hasn't it?
So you're that transfer student I've been hearing about, Keiichi Maebara-kun, right? You really did a bang-up job today. I'm impressed.
I feel like I've seen this photographer guy before. Have we met before?
I'm glad you remembered. We've passed many times on the road, Keiichi-kun. I'm Tomitake. I'm a freelancing photographer from Tokyo.
Then you recognize me? I'm sorry, but I don't.
She's Mio Takano-san. Do you remember when you were at the doctor's office when you still had a cold, Kei-chan? Mio-san is one of the nurses who works there.
Call me Takano. I'm pleased to meet you. Tell me when you're coming in for treatment. I'll prepare a huge needle for you.
That's very thoughtful of you.
Tomitake-san seemed to be quite entertained at the Sonozaki twins being in the same place, and he took picture after picture.
I've heard about them, but this is the first time I've actually seen a pair of identical twins. You really do look exactly alike.
We're not just alike on the outside. See, our underwear matches too. Nah, you idiot. What the heck are you doing?
I have to say, that made me laugh. That almost got me. Our underwear's the same too. That's so funny. Things have never been as lively as when the two of them are together. I thought they were exactly the same at first, but I've started to get a handle on which one is which. Mion is Mion, and Shion, well, she seems a far better actor than Mion was. In the first place, somebody that could spurn Mion so easily wouldn't have shown such weakness to those lard buckets at Angel Mort. If that was the case, then that cowardly behavior from that day was a complete act. They were even more alike when they were little. I heard even their parents had a hard time telling which was which. That's really easy to imagine. I totally understand what they must have gone through. Takano gave me a kind, oh my Jesus Christ. I started to get a phone call as I was trying to retake that. Okay, I had to put my phone on silent. Sorry. That really threw me off. Jeez. Okay, sorry. Takano gave me Jesus Christ. Takano gave me kind of an odd look, but explaining what... Alright, here it is. I start to, my mental capacity for reading starts to go downhill right here. Takano gave me kind of an odd look, but explaining would have been a pain, so I didn't bother.
Tomitake, are you going straight back to Tokyo after you get your pictures of the festival?
Yep, though I would rather just stay here forever. Silly adult things, that's all.
I hope your photos win a fabulous prize soon. I've been praying for it.
Okay, hold on. I have to say this out loud because I just thought of this just now. So during chapter 1, we didn't know that Mion had a twin, but she had a twin throughout the entirety of chapter 1. that looks and sounds exactly like her. So I wonder if there was any point in time in chapter 1 where we were actually talking to Shion and not Mion in some capacity. I just thought of that just now. Okay, well, that's a thought. Anyway, I'm gonna get back into it. Contemplate that in chat if you want.
Thanks. Next time I come, I'll bring the pictures I took of you all today.
My Baraka, you did a lot of work today. You must be tired from all the physical labor you're not used to. Huh? Well, I'm tired, but it was still pretty fun. Ah, youth. I'm so jealous. Takano-san smiled.
Oh god.
Indigestion, I think. Takano-san smiled with an adult elegance that no one in my circle of friends possessed. The wind caught her hair. She gives off an intelligent beauty.
Oh god. Oh, why, hello everyone.
Seems like our It seems like our merry crowd was standing out. This time, an overweight, older-looking man addressed us. And again, it was someone I thought I knew. If I recall correctly, he's a policeman, isn't he? Oh, Uishi-san. Good evening. Doing a preliminary security inspection for tomorrow?
Something like that. Oh, if it isn't Tomitake-kun. It's certainly been a while. I'm honored you remember my name. You really do love Hinamizawa, don't you? The apartments around here are far cheaper than the ones in Tokyo. You should just move here and get it over with. I know a realtor I can introduce you to. I appreciate the thought. I'd very much like to follow you up on that. All right, everyone, have a good year. And Happy New Year to the Sonozaki twins, too.
Happy New Year, Detective Uishi. We appreciate your work. We'd like to end this year's festival with the least amount of inconvenience as possible.
That's pretty strict on me.
Detective Uishi left us with a low laugh and headed off to talk to some police officers standing a ways away. I gave Mion a glance and saw her making an annoyed face, as if she were glaring bullets at someone she hated. Yeah, it'd be nice if the police didn't have anything to do during Watanagashi this year.
Yeah, you like this place too, don't you?
Oh, you mean to say you dislike it, Jiro-san? I quite enjoy such fantastic stories, you know? Especially with the times being so dry and uninteresting.
The curse of Oyashiro-sama, you mean?
Curse? Tomitake-san used a troubling word. Then, suddenly, someone tugged on my arm.
Kei-chan, I'm pretty hungry. Wanna go to the tent with the drinks and have some candy and sweets?
I'm up for that. I'd gotten a little hungry as well.
Okay, let's go.
A moment later, Shion said something to Takano and Tomitake that stung my ears and gave me a start.
I wonder who will die and who will disappear this year.
I pulled back from Mion's grip and stopped abruptly. Shion, what did she just say? It felt like the air around us had dried out all of a sudden.
Let's go, Kei-chan. They're talking about something silly anyway. You still haven't told Kei-chan? I make it a point not to spread stories like that.
Shion's cold and quiet tone and Mion's harsh voice were quite the contrast. Hey, wait, hold on. What are you talking about? If you know something, then tell me. Doesn't feel right being the only one left out, you know? I don't understand this. Someone explain it to me. However, Mion didn't seem to be all at that. Oh my gosh. However, Mion didn't seem to be at all willing to grant my request. She squeezed my hand in hers a bit, but when she realized I would hold my ground on this topic, she let go.
I'm gonna go to the drinking tent first then. If you don't come soon, Kei-chan, there won't be any left for you.
I get it already. I'll be there soon. Mion left, trotting towards a particularly noisy tent on the other side of the shrine grounds. Before she got there, she stopped and turned back around. I showed no signs of going after her, though, so she ran off.
I could tell you if you haven't heard, I suppose, but it might be smarter not to ask and go with her to eat dessert.
Hey now, you've already gotten my full attention here. I'm not gonna leave without asking at this point.
I think Kei-chan has the right to hear this too. My sister was just stealing that from you.
Shion's voice was bristling with thorns, as if somehow blaming Mion. What on earth are you talking about? I don't really like people acting so self-important. Takano-san, realizing how prepared I was, looked across the group. After confirming that there were no objections, she opened her mouth. Do you believe in curses, my Barakan? Curses? I think they're interesting, but I don't really. I felt their cynical stares and winced. It was like they were telling me it was strange or not to believe in curses.
You're not wrong, Kei-chan. Curses are just superstition. It's only natural that you wouldn't believe in them.
Mm-hmm. Besides, you can take all the time you need to decide whether you believe in curses after you've heard us through, said Takano-san, giving a little smile. They're trying to scare me. At least, that's what it feels like.
Alright, I'll start. Keiichi-kun, do you know about the Hinamizawa Dam project?
Oh yeah, the other day at Angel Mort, Mion, told me all about it. You mean the plan for the giant dam that would flood all of Hinamizawa, right?
That's right. Residents of the town banded together to fight it, and a fierce battle with the government unfolded.
I've heard that too. The entire village united, using all the power at their disposal, mass media, political influence, and other things, and fought the country. The way Mion described it, it made it sound like a boast.
Oh, you know quite a bit about it. Yeah, you're right. It's practically an epic tale how just 1,000 or so villagers banded together and rejected the government's plans.
Did you hear this from my sister? She likes those kind of epics, you know?
Yeah, she told me.
There was, however, an office for the Hinamizawa residents' opposition faction. It was this shrine.
You know the assembly hall? That's where it all used to be. Now that the whole thing is over, the senior citizens just use it for group activities. At the time, though, it was their last bastion. Takano-san explained this, pointing a finger towards the assembly hall. I'd been carrying things in and out of there all day. I mean, I would understand if they put an office like that in the mayor's house or something, but having an office on shrine grounds made it feel like kind of a base camp for Sengoku period warriors.
That was basically the mindset, though. Placing the main force in the shrine dedicated to Oyashiro-sama, Hinamizawa's guardian deity, was like a prayer for victory.
Oyashiro-sama. That was definitely it. They mentioned Oyashiro-sama's curse before. Is it the same Oyashiro-sama?
Do you know about Oyashiro-sama, Keiichi-kun? It's the name of the god worshipped at the shrine. It's said that he protects all of Hinamizawa.
Well, I don't really know much about him.
I see. I think Takano-san knows more about the rest. Tag, you're it.
Well, that is generally the whole story. Oyashiro-sama is the ancient god passed down in Hinamizawa, and the villagers say he's been protecting the sanctuary from the positions of the outside world. So, essentially, he's a basic, standard guardian deity. I guess you can find that sort of god anywhere you go. There's no research into whether worshipping Oyashiro-sama is a manifestation of a kind of elitism, too. There's research? Did I say there isn't? I'm gonna do that whole thing just in case. There's research into whether worshipping... Maybe I'll do it again, if I can get through it. There's research into whether worshipping Oyashiro-sama is a manifestation of a kind of elitism, too. What I mean is that the worshippers might think of themselves as chosen people.
Believing yourself chosen, a nationalistic belief that you are a part of a superior race, or that you're a special clan chosen by the gods. They believe that they are superior clans, so they believe strongly in cooperating with others, but they also end up being exclusionary towards other clans. I won't go into too much detail, but it's the sort of national and religious ideas that lead to war. Of course, that goes for Japan too.
A long time ago, the people of Hinamizawa strongly believed themselves different from humans, that they were above them. They believed that interaction with the lower world would sully their souls. So everyone believed that if one from the lower world came to the village, they would be sullied and suffer the wrath of Oyashiro-sama. Apparently that kept everyone away.
Villages that hate outsiders come up all the time in mystery novels. This was once a classic example of a xenophobic village.
Well, they'll deny it to preserve their pride. It was all a long time ago, after all. Things are different now.
Shion followed up quickly, having sensed the thorns in Tomitake-san's words. Tomitake-san, embarrassed at what he said, scratched his head. So this shrine worships Oyashiro-sama, thinks of Hinamizawa as a holy ground, and it's a symbol of their traditional hatred of the outside world. I get it. So that's why they chose the shrine of Hinamizawa's guardian spirit as their base of operations, to resist the Sully Dam construction project that came from outside.
Correct.
Correct, smiled Takano, pleased. Takano? She must dislike stupid people.
Superstition, every last bit of it. The villagers gave everything, desperate to oppose the dam construction. And right in the midst of it, the incident drove home the finishing blow.
Oyashiro-sama's curse.
The person managing the construction site of Hinamizawa Dam was murdered. 4 years ago, I believe. It took the newspapers by storm. Do you remember it?
No, not really.
He had a fight with a subordinate and was beaten to death with a pickaxe. His limbs and head were torn off and the remains disposed of.
One of those dismemberments, homicides. They were all the rage at one point.
Such a gruesome incident. But it was just that, an incident. A person caused the incident after all. Should they really put it down to the curse? Then, the following year, the man who had organized Hinamizawa's group of dam proponents, he fell from a cliff while on vacation and died. Apparently, it was an accident.
Of course, most of Hinamizawa was hostile towards him. The police were all over the case as if it were a homicide. But in the end, it was judged to have just been an accident.
now it's an accident. This is the most curse-like one, but it's still far-fetched. And then, on the next year, this time the priest of the shrine contracted an unknown illness and suddenly died.
This may sound a little rude, but the old priest was kind of a wait-and-see type. The whole village was in an uproar about the dam, but he just kind of didn't seem to want to bother. The shrine was the symbol of opposition. The shrine was the symbol of the opposition movement, and its priest, well, his attitude worked against him. The villagers at the time had hoped for a leader, but their hopes were betrayed. Some people were apparently pretty angry, too. So at the time, all the older people were like, "This is Oyashiro-sama's curse." That's what they said.
It did seem like every year, dam-related people the village had resentment towards were dying. It was pretty creepy. Oh, and also, it's interesting, all of these incidents and accidents always happen on the night of the Watanagashi festival. What? See, it's starting to sound like a curse now, isn't it? Then, the year after that, in other words, last year, the sister-in-law of the man who was the leader of the dam proponents, the one who accidentally died, was discovered dead, having been beaten to death. Of course, they caught that criminal. See, it really seems like a curse, huh? 4 years in a row. Each one of the incidents and accidents were relatively commonplace, but every single one of them was happening on the night of the festival worshipping Oyashiro-sama? That's not normal. So, I'm going back to my... Nani? I see that in chat. What? Nani? That's funny. Welcome back, Witch. Okay, back into it.
The old folks have been blindly accepting Oyashiro-sama's curse because of the incidents these past few years. Even younger people, too. At first, they thought it was stupid, but now nobody makes fun of it.
Yeah, I can see where she's coming from. Even me, even if I didn't think there was a curse at all, thinking about all the incidents like this makes me feel like maybe it's real. For example, just look at the preparations for the festival you were doing today. Everything might have gone crazy during the battle against the dam, but just a few years ago, the Watanagashi festival was never this well attended.
Well, I guess you're right. We didn't have Oyashiro-sama to talk about, we wouldn't all be coming to a festival like this, huh? There's a lot of people who say that infidels might be punished, so they really need to go to Oyashiro-sama's festival.
Shion nodded as if she were mocking herself. So, what about now? Keiichi-kun, you're starting to get the feeling that maybe, just maybe, the curse is real, aren't you? I mean, can't just laugh off people related to the dam construction project all dying like that. If even I feel like this now, then the more superstitious members of the village must feel stronger than that. Well, I mean, I still don't think there's a curse. I can understand those that believe there is, though.
Wow, Kei-chan. You really keep a cool head about this.
Shion grinned, realizing I'd rejected the curse. If it's neither a curse nor a coincidence, then what should we make of these incidents? Takano-san said, smiling playfully as if posing a riddle. Neither a curse nor a coincidence, but every year someone dies. What should we make of that, then? Tomitake-san, catching on to the fact that I had no idea what to make of it, opened his mouth and came to my aid.
Takano-san is suggesting that it might be the work of real people.
Eh? Eh? Sorry. Simple process of elimination would have gotten me there. I was a little taken aback at not having realized the answer immediately. Well, let's think about it. If it's neither a curse nor coincidence, then people must willingly... Oh my gosh. Well, think about it. If it's neither a curse nor a coincidence, then people must be willingly carrying it out. It's the only explanation, right? Takano pressed on. I smiled bitterly in spite of myself. Here I was just a few minutes ago, thinking the very concept of a curse was absolutely absurd. When she suggested it was someone's doing, I ended up thinking there wasn't any way it could be a person. But Takano-san was right. It was either a curse or it was a person's doing. If unrealistic things like curses didn't exist, then the obvious next step would be to start thinking it was people behind it. But if that was the case, I glanced at Shion.
If the culprit is a person, then they'd have to be someone from Hinamizawa. That's what the police officer, Uishi-san, thinks right now, too.
Hey, wait. That can't be. I thought I now knew the reason Mion didn't want to talk about this. If Oyashiro-sama's curse really existed, then that's fine. It would be divine judgment for the dam project business. However, if Oyashiro-sama's curse didn't exist, which it obviously didn't, then the culprit would most likely be someone from Hinamizawa. The villagers had worked desperately to oppose the dam construction project. I knew they had used all sorts of methods to fight against it. One of those methods was... maybe...
People whisper that Oyashiro-sama's curse could be the doing of a secret group in the dam resistance movement.
Shion dryly put words to my exact thoughts. Of course, I didn't expect it. She was from Hinamizawa, so I didn't think she'd come out and say it herself.
If you calm down and think about it, anyone would come to the same conclusion. There wouldn't be a motive for anyone, but people who benefit from opposing the dam project, right?
I guess that's true. Admitting to the existence of a darker side of the dam conflict would be rude to Mion, who spoke so highly of it. So I couldn't just accept Shion's seemingly logical viewpoint.
One more thing. The police probably don't know this. There's proof that someone from Hinamizawa committed these crimes, and the people of Hinamizawa know it.
Nani? Shion rebukes me to keep my voice down. Sorry, but this proof, what is it?
It's the fact that one person dies and one more person disappears.
One more person disappears. Did that mean that someone besides the one who died from the curse was a sacrifice? What do you mean by disappear? They just vanish and you never see them again?
That's right. Suddenly and without a trace.
As she spoke, Shion pretended to do a trick with her hands like she were making a magician's hat disappear. One dies a mysterious death, and one disappears, never to be seen again. Strange vanishing act. But then how does that equate to someone from Hinamizawa being the culprit? Well, actually, Hinamizawa has this one really old legend. It's about how the people offer sacrifices to Oyashiro-sama to calm his wrath. Sacrifices? Yes, they say they used to wrap a living person up in bamboo. They say they used to wrap a living person up in a bamboo mat and let them slowly sink down into the bottomless swamp. Takano-san, though explaining something pretty terrible, has a look of glee on her face as she did so. As far as I can glean from the literature, it actually took 3 days and 3 nights for them to sink. See, even people a long time ago liked symbolism. As the body sunk, Oyashiro-sama's anger would be quelled. Both were submerged into the deep. Takano-san was the only one laughing at this. Was she telling a joke or something? Shion didn't move to deny it, but I felt a difference in temperature between her cool expression and Takano-san's.
This whole conversation, well, I think you can imagine after hearing it, but it's the secret history of Hinamizawa. Everyone who has been in Hinamizawa for a long time knows it, but they don't talk about it.
Takano-san's not from here, but she knows quite a lot. She really likes local history, folk, legends, that kind of stuff. She learned about it all by herself, too.
I'm really not all that amazing. Just curious, that's all. Like a child. I just want to see scary things for the fun of it. Tometake-san laughed, a little bit embarrassed. Wait a minute. What does that mean? The other person who disappears during the incidents? You're saying they're offered as a sacrifice? Yeah. I'm not doing it. Okay. Shion answers in one word before anyone else can speak. Someone dies, then someone disappears. Well, whether they actually get sacrificed or not is a different issue. But every time something happened in the past, one person died and the other person disappeared. For example, the first one, where the dam site manager was killed, apparently one of the people responsible for that still hasn't been arrested. Couldn't that just mean he managed to get away? I don't see why we should treat him as a sacrifice. Well, that's basically what I think too. There was also the year after that, with the leader of the dam proponents. You said he fell from a cliff and died on vacation, right? Apparently his wife fell as well. The police investigated fervently, but they were never able to find the wife's corpse. The river under the cliff was actually pretty high at the time, though. She could have just been buried under the sand at the bottom of the lake downstream or something. The perpetrator of a dismemberment like that wouldn't want to be caught, so they'd be desperate to run away and hide too. I thought I'd heard about cases where the corpse wouldn't surface. I thought that said sacrifice. I thought I'd heard about cases where the corpse wouldn't surface after the person drowned in a swelled river like that. She vanished because of an unfortunate accident, but I still didn't see the connection to sacrifices. If you took each of the past incidents in turn, none of the disappearances evoked that terrifying of an image.
The year after that, with the priest suddenly falling ill and dying is much clearer. His wife left a suicide note. They found it in their house the night the priest died. It said something along the lines of her quelling Oyashiro-sama's wrath through her death.
The curse seems to turn up in this one, though.
Well, we may never know the truth of the matter. The swamp the wife drowned herself in was the giant bottomless one Takano mentioned before. The police investigated it, but all they could find were several of her possessions. They never found the corpse. The police suspect it was a fake suicide, and they're still investigating it now. Someone dies every year, and in the same way, someone goes missing every year. Is she trying to tell me that everyone who vanished was kidnapped by some extremely efficient means and dumped into the bottomless swamp, still alive, and drowned to death? But a curse? That's unbelievable in its own right. And the next year, what was it? The damn proponent's sister-in-law, she was killed. So, at that time, someone else vanished.
Someone did disappear. There was a boy around my age. Someone did disappear. There was a boy around my age named Satoshi Hoju. He's the nephew by marriage of the woman killed.
Shion cut in with a slightly strong tone of voice. She knew the boy who had disappeared pretty well. At least that's the vibe I was getting. Well, that about sums everything up. One person always dies, and one person always suddenly disappears. Leaving the suddenness aside, the fact was that each incident involved one person disappearing. So that means the first person who dies is because of Oyashiro-sama's curse, and the second person who vanishes is because the villagers sacrificed them? Is that it? Is that it? Probably better.
Kei-chan, there is no curse. Somebody kills the first person under the guise of a curse, and someone takes away the second person to be a sacrifice.
But, Shion, that means the criminals... I'm gonna do that again. But, Shion, that means the criminal is in the village.
That's what I've been guessing from the start. It's pretty shocking though, you know? We live in the Showa period. It's kinda hard to believe people are committing murder like it's nothing, using some ancient justifications, huh?
It didn't have anything to do with our discussion, but I got the feeling that maybe Shion didn't like Hinamizawa very much. Mion enjoyed talking about Hinamizawa and its epic tales, so she had avoided talking about Oyashiro-sama's curse. Yeah. So she had avoided talking about Oyashiro-sama's curse, which didn't paint Hinamizawa in a good light no matter how you looked at it. She was trying not to give me a bad impression of the village, so she didn't say anything. Shion, on the other hand, was somehow different. She was rejecting the concept of a curse to purge Hinamizawa of its bad impression, but she wasn't. She wasn't rejecting the concept of a curse to purge Hinamizawa of its bad impression, but rather because she strongly believed that a member of the village was the criminal behind this. Her conviction seemed a bit removed from the tight sense of community held by the Hinamizawan people. I know I had those flipped around, but it doesn't matter. Once upon a time, they looked so alike you could mistake one for the other. But talking to her now, I was getting a more powerful feeling that Shion had a completely different personality than Mion. Then everyone else, they all think someone from Hinamizawa did it, right? Neither Shion nor Takano-san answered that. The deafening silence told me all that needed to be said. Then, let me ask another question. If someone from Hinamizawa is the culprit, then who is it? Neither Shion nor Takano had a reply to that question either. Though it may have been rude to ask, I had hoped they wouldn't have one. The reason I asked was to argue that their explanation that the culprit was from Hinamizawa was nothing more than one possibility. Shion caught on to my plan. She gave a pained smile at my petty spite and opened her mouth to speak.
All I said really just amounts to circumstantial evidence anyway. If any of us knew who it really was, we'd have gotten them into police hands already.
As would anybody. Then what about Takano-san? She too smiled dryly as Shion had opened her. Jesus, okay, that's just feels weird to say. She too smiled dryly as Shion had and opened her own mouth. Well, I'd like to clear one thing up. I'm not a detective or anything, alright? In all honesty, I'm not really interested in who the culprit is.
Takano-san, you sure are a handful.
Tomitake-san gives a bitter laugh at her surprising opinion on the matter. You see, I just like cruel and atrocious ancient traditions and fairy tales. I only enjoy them from a curious onlooker's perspective. So, for this string of incidents, it's not so much finding out who the culprit is, but enjoying thinking about how the old traditions displayed in the incidents themselves still seem to have some pretty deep roots around here. Okay, run-on sentences, Takano-san. Run-on sentences. Let's get a grasp on that. I don't have the lung capacity for these. Ugh. Oh, good. Excuse me. Though she described herself as nothing more than a curious onlooker, her smile was as sharp as the tip of a blade. Women like her felt very strange and a little scary to me. Maybe it's just that I was in fearful awe of the person whose emotions I couldn't comprehend.
Well, I don't think any of this is interesting at all. The Higurashi festival is coming up tomorrow, but I don't want anyone to die or disappear.
Tomorrow, huh? That's right. It had completely slipped my mind. A string of murder incidents people attributed to Oyashiro-sama's curse. It wasn't over. If last year's incident wasn't the end, then tomorrow night at the festival, would someone die and someone disappear? I do wonder who will die tomorrow and who will disappear, though, Takano-san said, running a comb through her hair with elegant movements, with a thin smile and a voice that nearly made me shudder. She almost looked like she was enjoying the thought of the incidents that could happen tomorrow. Then, out of the blue, we heard a loud round of applause. They seemed to be ending the drinking party early. Right, I was making Mion wait this whole time, wasn't I? I should go back to her soon.
You're teasing the kid too much, Takano-san. Now Keiichi-kun thinks it's all true.
I apologize. It's that bad habit of mine again, said Takano-san, sticking out her tongue bashfully. The strangeness in her expression was nowhere to be found.
When Takano-san sees an innocent child like you, she can't help but want to poke fun at them. It's a real bad habit. Keiichi-kun, you listened to everything so earnestly that she ended up getting carried away.
Unlike Takano-san, Tomitake-san seemed like a totally normal person with common sense. That's just rude. That's so mean. That's so mean to say. Is he wrong, though? They were apologizing after realizing what kind of impression they'd given me.
The stuff Takano-san just said is all fiction. If it made you harbor any bad impressions about Hinamizawa, then we apologize for that.
Jeez, Jiro-san.
You apologize too, Takano-san. Tell him you're sorry for scaring him.
Takano-san and Tomitake-san were arguing and messing around now. The strained air around us had already dissipated.
Hey, John, you should get going soon, too. Neon is the jealous type. She sees me, she'll probably start a fight, so I'll just be going home.
Really? Then I'll go see what Mion's doing and apologize for making her wait, I guess.
Sorry for being such a nuisance, Keiichi-kun. Could you tell Mion-chan we're sorry for borrowing you for so long?
Yeah, yes, I don't think God damn it. Yes, oh, fuck me. I'll get it. I'll freaking get this. Yes, I don't think telling her will make her feel any better, but sure. Tomitake-san and Takano-san, standing next to each other, both began to chuckle.
Okay then, Kei-chan. Let's try and run into each other at tomorrow's festival.
We'll see each other. I mean, it's us we're talking about after all. We'll be making so much trouble, it'll be hard for you not to find us. Shion and I said our goodbyes to Tometake-san and Takano-san. Before we could leave, Takano-san called out to us. Thanks for listening so earnestly to what I had to say. You're just so good at listening. I had a great time talking to you. Good at listening? No, not at all. I was just in a state of perpetual bewilderment from all the shocking topics being thrown at me one after another. Did you like my story today?
No.
Well, it was pretty interesting. Then I'll tell you some more sometime, okay? There's a lot of pretty interesting legends and fairy tales about Hinamizawa. Of course, a lot of strange and creepy ones, too. I'll choose a bunch of my favorites and tell you about them. I was kind of happy, but kind of worried. Can't help but smile dryly and scratch at my head.
Keiichi-kun, you can go now. Takano-san is just messing with you.
They say goodbye again and run off. I heard Tometake-san call out behind him in a clear voice that we would see each other at the festival tomorrow. When I went to the tent Mion was waiting for me in, she was nowhere to be found. I made her wait so long, maybe she got mad and went home. After asking some adults passing by, I heard that she went home, talking to some relatives. Maybe I shouldn't have done that, but my regret for having made Mion wait wasn't enough to triumph over the impression Takano-san and Shion's uncanny story left me. Serial murder incidents had happened 4 years in a row. Would tomorrow's events make this the 5th? And the possibility that someone from Hinamizawa was carrying all this out under the guise of the curse. The queer tradition of ritual sacrifice, entirely unbecoming of the Showa, entirely unbecoming of the Showa period we lived in. I regretted it a little, though it was too late. If none of those creepy stories had anything to do with me, then I should have let Mion pull me away from that crowd. I felt a little ashamed about letting my cheap curiosity get the better of me. Hey, we did it. Oh my god. These are all the tips. Holy shit. All right, we have a bunch of tips. A little elbow grease is the achievement. Oh my goodness, we have 4 freaking tips. Scrapbooks, they're all scrapbooks. Okay, I assume they're about the murders, but okay. Since we got 4 of them, I'm gonna get right in. Let's go. Excuse me. Oyashiro-sama's curse. In the ancient Onigafuchi village, the anger of Oyashiro-sama, his curse, was feared above all. However, it is seldom stated anywhere what eventually happens and what sort of divine judgment, curse, befalls them when Oyashiro-sama is angry. From various reports, all hell will break loose. Demons will come flooding out. The miasma from hell will flood outward and kill every villager, letting not a single one escape. The ones evoking images of the village being annihilated stand out the most. These terrifying ideas of divine punishment are in alignment with many other religious beliefs regarding the apocalypse, hell, and it's easy to imagine that they're just ways of convincing people to obey the teachings in order to prevent such an end. The conditions for inciting Oyashiro-sama's wrath are likely the same as the taboos in Onigafuchi village. I believe that when an act was performed that violates one of these taboos, Oyashiro-sama was termed angry. And in order to quell his anger, they would perform the aforementioned sacrificial ritual. Interesting. From the scrapbook. Wait, who had the scrapbook? Whose scrapbook is this? Why do we have it? What's going on? I don't remember getting a scrapbook at any point in time. Okay, I'm sure we'll find out. Maybe, probably not. Doesn't matter. The human sacrifice ritual. The sacrificial ritual was a simple drowning involving plunging sacrifices into Onigafuchi's swamp, which was considered hallowed. Of the rituals of Onigafuchi village, this one was unique in that the sacrifice would sink slowly over the long course of 3 days and 3 nights. I believe that it wasn't so much the killing of this sacrifice that was important, but rather the symbolism of them sinking as the submerging of Oyashiro-sama's anger. For that purpose, they must have had a passion for learning various methods for keeping the sacrifice from sinking too quickly, to force them to sink more slowly. Unfortunately, as far as I can tell from the records, those methods were not recorded. My thoughts are that they may have used logs or some similar material to create a raft, then set up a scaffold on there, then set up a scaffold on there, hung the sacrifice up with ropes, and let them sink little by little over time into the swamp. However, if that were the case, it would not be strange if the ritual implements used for such a ceremony were honored as holy and enshrined somewhere. Enshrined, huh? Maybe in the Furude shrine somewhere? Maybe, possibly. Are we gonna find some sacrificial tools in the Furude shrine? Yes, we are. Speculation, but yes, we are. Implements used for the ritual. Ritual tools utilized for ancient religious ceremonies are commonly referred to as implements, or ritual implements. And even now, some of them are enshrined on the property of the Furude Shrine and the 3 families. Okay, never mind, we got confirmation. I was right. Immediately. Wow. We didn't need to find them. We were just told. Sweet. However, I want to keep saying unidentified. However, the identifiable tools are all decorative, and none appear to have been used in rituals governing the dark side of Onigafuchi village. As the Edo era came to a close and many traditional rituals were lost, were they lost as well, or perhaps buried in the darkness? Okay, so the ones that are in the shrine, I think, is what they're saying. What these guys are saying is that the ones in the shrines are fake. They're not real. They're just kind of like placeholders. But the ones that were really used in the rituals. So I think the ones that were really used in the rituals are actually in the Furude shrine. They're scattered maybe, or maybe there's like one in each shrine for the 3 families or something. Yeah. So, yeah, they think every one of those implements is fake. I think that there's the real ones in there, and that they're going to find that out at some point. So that my prediction from before still kind of stands. Anyway, I don't believe so. Both the implements used on the night of the Feast of Onikakushi and those used during the sacrificial ceremony must still exist, enshrined away from the eyes of the masses. Without a doubt, they exist here today, at this very moment, in Hinamizawa. Also, I'm nearly certain where they've been enshrined. What was once locked steadfastly has, for some reason, changed this year to a cheap-looking padlock. He may be able to do something about such a lock. Again, whose is this? And who's he? Oyashiro? Can he not get past locks? He has to abide by those. However, it is not far from the assembly hall, nor is it ever far from the presence of people. However, I will not give up. The night when it becomes a blind spot to every villager in Hinamizawa is coming soon. Soon it will be Watanagashi. Mysterious. Festivals and around the corner. Okay. Rival. Oh shit, Komiyama? I don't know who this is. Hold on, I'm just gonna get past this one. Okay, so Kumagai, he's the detective, right? He's the good detective well, I will go back, but I just want to make sure. Okay. Can I start this over? Or I could just go back. I don't remember who Komiyama is. How much history is there? Interesting. Okay. I'm just, yeah, sorry. I don't remember who this is. Yeah, I'm right. Kumagai is the other detective that was with Uishi that one time, and I gave him a weird voice for a bit. It's like that, like sleazy weird voice. I'm not doing that again. Not for Kumagai. He doesn't deserve that. I don't know.
I'm just gonna do, like, this person's weird. I don't know who you are, so you're a weirdo to me. Hey, are you worn out already? Tomorrow's the real thing. We're gonna be partying until morning. Until the very end of it all. Got it?
Got it. I'll give it everything I've got.
Alright then. Youth is the greatest.
Good work, everyone. Tomorrow is Watanagashi at last. Let's get some shut-eye in and save our energy for tomorrow night.
Tomorrow was finally Watanagashi. Festivals are split into two groups, those who enjoy them and those who support them. The former only need prepare their minds, but the latter needs not only that, but also painstakingly crafted plans and preliminary arrangements. While the general majority attending goes about enjoying the festival without a care in the world, will be strained the whole way through. Why?
You sure as hell know why. Because the beer after everything's over is the best damn beer you'll ever have.
At times like these, it's best to have energetic, physical, fit people. It wouldn't be worth it if you didn't do your best until the end, enjoying it the whole way. Oh, he's here. Uishi-san came in. Everyone hurried to stand up.
Hello, everyone. Excellent work out there. You can be at ease.
Thank you, sir. Not even my seniors, who usually talk about themselves, can hold a candle to Uishi-san. Wow, my voice just cracked. Excuse me. We all bow as if we were one of those cheering squads of old. Kurado Uishi. Kurado Uishi. Excuse me. A detective just waiting to retire. One who doesn't pay much mind to rules and regulations and doesn't do too much in the way of real work. He looks like a rotten old man with a penchant for dirty jokes. My seniors, though, tell me he was a real fighter in his younger days, and that he may or may not have quite a heroic legend trailing behind him. Anyway, he surely had much more dignity and presence in the room than the section chief who came in with him.
Everyone, I really, really thank you for your hard work on the preparations for the festival tomorrow.
Everyone present stands upright and lends their ear to the chief's directions.
We're on heavy alert for any thrill-seeking criminals expecting another incident like last year. I need all of you to focus your energy as much as possible in our mission to prevent any crimes from happening.
Yes, sir.
Of course, it would be best if nothing happened. However, everyone, please assume that an incident will, in fact, occur. Prevention is number one, but it probably won't be enough. This year, too, someone will die and someone will disappear. There's really no doubt about it.
I don't know why you'd laugh at that. It's really fucked up, Uishi. Everyone apart from the section chief smiled painfully. Fuck.
Oh, Yashiro, so you're old. Uishi-san, that won't do. We need to be more serious about this.
He stutters because he's old and can't think of his words. That's the character.
The important part isn't to get past the night of the festival. It's to be able to quickly, swiftly, and aggressively pursue whatever does happen tomorrow night. I won't tolerate anything less than your best. Clench those cheeks. We're gonna rip all the skin off the ghost of Oyashiro-sama's curse.
Yay! I had too much fun with that tip. So stupid. Okay, we did. We did it. And it's alive. I know. God damn it. It's fine. Okay, I'm gonna save before I forget. And that was it. We did it. Woo! Another one down. And I knew it. It's starting to get creepy again. It's starting up. We got the news. We kind of learned what we already knew before. Which is fine. What's this? Teaching me some Japanese. I'm gonna bring this over. Verb referring to Shion. Just nan would be what is nanka? It's if I don't know what you're saying. Verb planning, I think. Interesting. So like, is essentially what you're saying is that like their names mean something that like might pertain to their characters, something like that. Interesting. I wonder. I think that's in translating into. I wonder if Shion is planning something. Oh, or you talked about something that. Oh, you were having a discussion that I was not paying attention to. Okay, gotcha. I'll stay out of it. I'll stay out of it then. Cool. Yeah. So I guess those were the couple ideas here. Like, since Mion has a twin sister and has had a twin sister the entire time, like, it's totally possible that we were talking to Shion at some point in chapter 1. I feel like possibly going back, maybe we can tell? I don't know. I don't remember anything being like suspicious, like, oh, Shion's acting weird. Or, I mean, when like the change or whatever happened and Reina and Shion were being weird or something. You know what I mean though, right? Like not that weird in that one, but whatever. You know, a twin sister working at Angel Mort. The place he has with Uishi in Arc 1 that Mion shouldn't have known about. I said this, but I should bet that this is in the way. I should better say which said. Okay. It was like a correction thing then. Interesting. Oh, that's cool though. You guys are discussing Japanese. That's really cool. I don't know. Yeah. Don't trust me. I'm a beginner too. Hey, at least you can admit it. Appreciate that. Yeah, interesting. This would definitely be a game or like a story that I will probably have to go through again. I'll probably have to watch a playthrough of this when I'm like after I'm done. Like when I'm done with chapter 8. Or was it Ray is the like kind of side thing that's also kind of what do you think? What is it? The main continuity or whatever. Yeah, after I'm done with it, I'll probably have to watch somebody else's playthrough just so I can go back and like see what I can pick up on. You really need to reread Higu after finishing. Okay. Best experience is watching someone play. I will do that. Yes, I will absolutely do that once I'm finished in like a year. It's gonna take a long time to get through it, but when I'm finished next year, I'll start it over and watch somebody else play it. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if it's actually gonna take a year or not. Whatever. I'm just talking shit. I just threw out a number, I guess. Yeah. Interesting, cool, still really into this story. We saw so much that Shion did on purpose that we will only see in Arc 5. Nice. Wow, that's so far away. Yeah, I do like I like the cohesion of the story though. It seems very like tight, like story wise. Like everything seems intentional. And connects to each other very well, very nicely, which is cool. Yeah, this is great. I saw that next stream will be interesting comment, so apparently it gets good next time, so you don't want to miss it. Make sure you hit the subscribe and the bell so you get the notification for when the live happens next time, so you can be a part of the cool, amazing action. I don't know, man. I gotta go to bed. I gotta go to bed. I don't know what I'm doing, guys. It's this bit that I don't get it. I don't even understand. Making a profile picture of Natsuki right now. Do it. Arc 6 is the answer arc to 1 and 7 to 3. Interesting. Next time we'll really start. Start what? I already did the subscribe and the ding dong cool kids. Yes, thank you. You did. Thank you. Appreciate. Big preach. Big preach on the bell ding dong, the school kids that the cool kids do. They ring the bells and whatnot. Especially at the beginning of the Watanagashi is always the point of, oh fuck, it's going downhill. Yeah, I remember that from the anime. Like that's one thing. Like I don't remember exact details or anything, but I remember like every day, it was like once it got to the Watanagashi, once it started to get close, that's when things started to be like, oh, it's about to go down, you know, and you could tell, you could feel it. It's great. Pumped Up Kick starts playing. Oh, jeez. It's the boss music. Do I hear boss music and it's just Pumped Up Kicks? Stupid. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I'll be back on Monday as per usual, and hopefully I'll see y'all then. Thank you everybody for coming by, who came by and hung out forever, however long. I love FNAF, Mr. Speed Rusher, Witch, and Ray. All of you guys. I don't think I saw anybody else. If I missed you, I apologize. It's my bad. And but thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Okay, thanks. See ya. Bye. I'll see ya, and a goodbye.